Hello friends, this is Saurav from Tax Accountant, and this is the video on liquidation. I have worked many years in this industry, accounting and taxation services, and I have seen many businesses getting into liquidation, having some problems, and all sorts of stuff. So today I just want to make a video and I want to share some insights into what liquidation is, how you appoint a liquidator, and what happens when business is struggling. This video will give you a lot of insight into it. And if you have any problem, you can always reach out to us later, or at least it will give you a good starting point if you want to consider doing liquidation of your business, or you know someone or something in line with that. I don't do the liquidation, okay? So this is not my job, but my job is to save the businesses before they get into liquidation. This is what I do. But today I'll just tell you what liquidation is and what happens. So what is liquidation? What comes in your mind, how it starts, and what happens, and all sorts of stuff. So liquidation, you think about it, what it is, it's pretty much you're saying that I cannot control this business anymore, and I have been running, and the finish line is 5 kilometers away, but I'm tired. I can't run it anymore. That's it. I want to give up. So you're telling, okay, bring that finish line closer to me. I don't want to go all the way. So the goalpost has been changed and the finish line has come closer. And you are taking assisted help. Someone in a golf cart might come and take you. Okay, I'll bring you to the finish line. So this is the liquidator. This is my understanding end of the day. And then what you're saying is, okay, this person will take me forward. I don't have to go anymore. So you're kind of giving it up. That's it. Give up could be in many ways. That business venture is, to start with, it's a dead business anyway. The more money you put into it, the more effort you put into it, it's going to go nowhere. So what's the point? Let's close it and restart something else. So there are many ways, many things, but all those things require professional help, professional guidance, and common sense, to be honest with you. Those things, there's no point chasing your dreams and stuff, but if there are alternate solutions can be done. But hey, so those things are always there. We can always look into it. What is the best course of action? Liquidation may not be the best course of action. There are many other ways as well. So but what liquidation is, a company assets are collected and sold. So whatever the company assets are, so a company assets are collected and sold. What you're saying, I cannot do it anymore. Now let someone else do it. That person will come in, buy all the assets and sell it. The money is used to pay the creditors in a set legal order. The process helps close the company in orderly way. It aims to maximize the returns to creditors. It also helps investigate why the company failed. So basically in the picture you can see the struggling company, assets are taken by the liquidator and creditors are paid. So this is the whole process of liquidation. In theory, this process should work well, because what we are saying is the liquidation happens and the liquidator, that person, is a not biased person. He has highest level of integrity. This person will work ethically and this person will do everything properly. So in a bigger picture, the setup has been set up to work in a proper way. When the failed businesses can appoint a third person who's more professional than them, and that professional will take over and do the job, like get you to the finish line in an orderly way, right? Not, I don't want to pay anyone, get out of it, and all these assets are mine assets. No, all these assets will be sold and everyone will be paid. But does it actually happen in a practical way? I'd share my insights with you. So how liquidation starts? So imagine if you owe money to someone or someone owe money to you. So liquidation could be both ways. If someone owe me money, I'll liquidate them. Or if I owe money to a lot of people, they liquidate me. So it could be any ways. So the first thing is statutory demand. So statutory demand is served under section 289. So this is the legal proposition of this, section 289. Under this, a legal demand will be served to someone who owes you money. Surprisingly, it can be served only for $1,000 and above. No one will do it, but the law says if you, even a creditor has $1,000, they can serve you this. So once this is done, the company has 15 working days to respond. No response means no response. Response, if you respond, it's okay. If you don't respond, it's also okay. But if you don't respond, it means that debt has been recognized by you and you owe this money. Otherwise, you have to dispute within 15 days. No, I don't owe you this money anymore, or this is a false claim, or whatever. You respond. If you don't respond, that has been taken for granted that you owe this money to them. So in step number 4, there could be a compromise between the two parties. Okay, I'll pay you X amount of dollar, Y amount, like this. So some negotiation. If that doesn't happen, under section 241(2) of Companies Act, application will be made to the court. Yes, notification to do the liquidation. So under this section, application will go to the court. Now, once the application is gone to the court, of course, copy will come to you that has gone to the court. When that copy comes to you, you have 10 days. Remember, this 10 days rule is important because you have 10 days to appoint your own liquidator. If you don't do it, you kind of lose that window to appoint. The court will appoint. According to me, whether you appoint or the court appoint, the liquidator should do unbiased job, should act ethically with highest level of integrity. But there is a myth out there that if I appoint my own liquidator, that liquidator will be more helpful to me rather than someone who is appointed by the court. Again, in theory, if you look at it, why it should be, why if I pay someone or someone get paid through my assets, why they would act differently. Does it happen in practice? Of course, it might be happening. That's why some people are saying. But again, not every accountant are same. Not every doctor is same. Not every sports person is same. Everyone is different. Everyone has their own level of ethics, their own level of values. Based on that, people may act differently in different way. But there might be some lot of liquidators out there who will act ethically, whether you are appointed by them or whether they are appointed by the court. So that is something very important. Other thing very important is prior to 1st April 2020, as far as my knowledge I can recollect, prior to this, there was no such act in New Zealand, such as who can be a company liquidator. Anyone who with mental capacity and who's over 18 could have been a liquidator. But there have been some sort of a regulatory body. So they strengthened the licensing regime. So liquidators can now subject to formal regulatory framework. So right now there is a framework. You have to be a member of a chartered accountant body or CPA, and you have to be regulated by them. So which means there is a code of conduct they have to follow in this. Of course, there have been many disparities before. I have seen personally myself, there were some liquidators who were acting highly unethical. There was a case when we were so close to do the negotiations with the IRD, and this guy had to pay money to them, and he agreed to pay this money to IRD, and IRD was happy to accept that as a settlement. But all of a sudden, this unethical guy came in the middle. He said, you pay me X amount of dollar and I'll liquidate your company so that you don't have to pay anything to anyone. So this guy somehow liquidated that company, and IRD got paid nothing, but he got paid his fee, which is, according to me, is unethical, but nothing could have been done back then. That was a time, I think it was 2017. But I guess things like that, a lot of those things have come in. Those unethical people were operating. So that's how this new legislation came, and their shops were closed. So right now, this is who can be a liquidator. So you can apply to the court. Who can apply to the court? The company can apply to the court, or the shareholders, a director, creditor, administrator, registrar, Reserve Bank New Zealand, Financial Market Authority. Any of these person can apply to the court. Yes, I want this company to be liquidated. Who will be a liquidator? A independent, seems to be independent, competent, impartial, acts with highest level of integrity, and they must meet the legal and eligibility requirement. This thing wasn't there before, but this is now. So this is how the application will go to the court. All these people will make application in the court, and this is how a liquidator will be appointed. Now, you might think, okay, this person has been appointed, this is a liquidator. Now what this person will do, accordingly, this is that person is going to do. In a typical power, this person is selling the assets, so that this person is selling all the assets, right, to recover some money, set aside voidable transaction, examine directors and officers, and commence the legal proceedings. So this is the job. So each of that is a bigger area. Might need different videos on all of them, but in a nutshell, what it's trying to do is trying to sell the assets, recover some money, and pay those people. While they're doing it, they're looking at voidable transaction, which means I have just paid my friend $10,000 and that person has given me a bill and I paid him. Now that looks dodgy because this is just paid and I was doing a liquidation, I paid someone. Or I have transferred a lot of money to myself instead of paying those creditors. So that this is a liquidator's job to go through and check those items, that has that been done correctly or not. And based on their finding, they do the legal proceeding for those individuals who have done something wrong, knowingly wrong, right? Purposely they have deceived the system. This is the liquidator's job to find who has done it. So in a nutshell, they'll do these 5 things. Take control of company assets, bank accounts, vehicles, stock, inventory, assets, building, land, whatever it is. They take everything. They sell everything on the open market so that maximum values can be obtained. Of course, review the transactions and investigate what exactly happened. How much money directors took it from the company, shareholder current account, balancing numbers, drawings, how much personally they benefited. Consider, talk to all those creditors and see, are they have valid claims, all these creditors, and depending on the validity of their claim, take this. And of course, distribute the funds according to the law. So the law has a set channel. Based on this, these funds can be distributed. Now, once how these funds are distributed, who gets paid first? So who decide who's going to get paid first? Of course, the secured creditors, where there is a security has been given, such as bank got the security when they gave you the money. So of course, bank has the secured creditors. First, they will get paid. I'm a liquidator, I'm working day and night on this, I'll get paid first as well. Then there is other preferential claims under section Schedule 7. So Schedule 7 of Companies Act has specified it, in which rating of them with unsecured creditors such as IRD is the last one to get paid, and shareholders are the last one to get paid. Of course, employees, holiday pay, and those sort of things will come much sooner than the other. And this is the topic I just want to touch on, IRD-initiated liquidation. Do you know in 2025, these are the facts, you can check yourself out. In 2025, approximately 3,000 liquidation happened in New Zealand, out of which generally, I'm talking about the general sense, 30 to 40% liquidation. So about 1,000 to 1,200 liquidations are done by IRD each year. So IRD do 30 to 40% each year. So as you can see, they are the largest one who's doing it. But in just 1 month, which was January 2025, that number shoot up to 70%. Those guys did 70% liquidation, right? And out of which they had a very high success rate. So IRD has a success rate about 70 to 80%. So if IRD has done the liquidation, there is a 70 to 80% chance company will be liquidated. But there is still a 20% chance that company can be saved. For that, a professional help is required. And this is something we have done in the past with many businesses. Our Google reviews are there, which is the highest testimony. And a lot of time people don't want to talk about it because this is something very personal. So there are a lot of people whom we have helped, but they will never come out in public and we'll talk about it. So what we have done for them is try to find problems earlier before it becomes a problem. Revenue leakage, inventory control, high wages, high staff cost, more overheads, big buildings, lease payments, heavy loans, less assets, return on assets were less. There are many examples I can give you where we found a lot of problems, a lot of mistakes in the business, and we fixed the problem, fixed the mistakes, and we went with the new model, new process, new approaches, and we were able to save these businesses. I have live examples of those companies running something we worked 15 years ago. They're still running a profitable business today. And I feel so happy when I see those businesses still thriving, still providing employment to a lot of people, paying all their taxes on time, paying all the creditors on time, and more importantly, they could save their business. They're still running a business. So if there is any issue, there is any problem, go and talk and seek advice early rather than late. If you leave it too late, then this is how liquidation will happen, and this is the end point. Not necessarily the end point, could be beginning of a new journey as well. Okay, thank you for watching this video. If you're here till the last, thank you. And if you like it, share this video. Any help required, come and see us. Thank you very much.